over again. He controlled the Rio gold medal final as well from South Africa. Resta Finger.
Okay, thank you.
So Scotland receiving first up. And good take. It's Bryson. They look to head to the left. So low. This is Bryce again. Robertson cutting back in field. Side to side stuff, but no real progress. And now we'll pass out the back to Godsmark.
No, leave it! Leave it!
Penalty goes to Scotland.
Yeah, I'd say if Scotland took anything out of Russia's 22-0 victory against Kenya, it was to hold onto the ball, pressure them. Then the gaps will come like now, Fleming.
Yeah, and he's got some toe. He should have too much toe, but in this heat, he's been dragged down. And the inside ball is good to White. He gets the fend going. And so the captain, Scott White, runs it in for Scotland. Good start for the men in blue.
I'm with you, Greg Clark. When James Fleming gets that into the backfield, he rarely gets caught. But on that occasion, two of the Kenyan defenders ganged up and barreled him down. Thankfully, White was in support. Lovely try. They hung on to it. So for the first minute and a half of the game, it's been totally Scottish dominated. And finally, Fleming, with a missed tackle, takes off that familiar fast leg movement. Have a look at that. Both of them got to him. But then White does the easy work. You trail up the centre of the field, you get the little treats like that try.
Yep. Try to the captain. So it is 7 points to 0. Scotland over Kenya.
Back off red.
Came off red, so it's there again for Scotland. It's Godsmark to Bryce. Low. Now Fleming back to low. Bryce, nowhere to go. Wobbly old ball. Robertson cleans up and finds himself in a spot at bottom. Goes to the outside to Bryce, who steps. And the support is good from Robertson. He flicks it back and they make a mess of that. Now offside.
Up on offside. Up on offside.
First Kenyan opportunity comes from this.
Yeah, well, they were bitterly disappointing early on. Kenya losing 22-0 to Russia. Taking their time.
As if this heat has knocked them around, but you'd figure that they're used to it.
And the trouble is when they're walking around in the heat of Nairobi, etc., they're not finding themselves up against opponents.
That's true.
And there's a mistake, and you know that is probably a little bit of fatigue. You don't see that sort of stuff usually from William Bucker.
Yeah, their skills and their offloads normally so sublime.
Holding his head there, did he drop a knock somewhere along the line as well?
I don't know whether he really feels like taking the scrum if that's the case.
Okay, crack.
It's weird. Didn't look like there was much in it. He'll be right.
Set.
So Scotland putting it in and low, eventually picking it up.
Rack.
And that was good. White.
Okay, advantage.
Advantage is being played. Godsmark.
Advantage over.
Goes to ground. And it's a turnover.
Fred here. Lost forward or Fred in the tackle.
But it was lost forward by Kenya.
Previous tackle, lost forward.
Not a lot happening for the Kenyans at the moment.
Yeah, Godsmark threw that inside ball. I thought he may throw the dummy and take off. So Fleming there, speedster down, squished in the tackle there.
Time off.
Sitting up.
Yeah, they need him right. He's the one who takes advantage of any overlaps or opportunities. Finisher.
Yeah, the magic water, and he's okay.
Kenyan fans, wonderful supporters of their team.
Okay, come in, guys.
Not just here in Sydney, but right around the world. At every stop.
Time back on. Crouch.
2.5 remaining first half.
Make sure you bind. Bind. Set.
White. Plan move here, the double round. With low, and then he gives it to Fleming, but was pretty much telegraphed.
Good counter rack.
Counter ruck is good, and Jura picks it up. Leading try scorer
Rack.
on the series, with limited opportunity so far on day 2 of the men's competition in Sydney. There's Amonde firing it over on the far side. They're easy targets at the moment for Scotland if you make the tackles, and that time they didn't. So Willie Mbaka is going to run away. They're going to give up the chase. Big Willie. First try today in Sydney, and they're back in it.
What came from nothing whatsoever. One missed tackle. William Barker went off the right. Have a look here. Takes the ball up high. There is nothing on. He's well and truly covered. Takes it off the right foot. Straightens here. Bust 1, 2 tackles. He's in the backfield, and then he drops the hammer and goes and goes. And he's too quick for them. William Barker. It's a familiar sight. Wonderful player, the big fella.
He scored plenty of tries. There's the conversion from Eden Aguero. So he now moves into the 80s. 81 tries, still a long way behind the leader, Collins Injura, and Collins' brother, Humphrey Kayanga, is second. So Kenya kicking off, and we're locked up at 7-all.
Well, anything can happen here.
And it's been picked up by Godsmark. Trying to buy a bit of time there.
You played him there without the ball. You played that player without the ball. 7-6.
So White takes it for Scotland. And there's a kick ahead from Robertson. He's going to win the race. And Jura gets back there first of all. Moves on the ball. Robertson. Oh, he turned it over. And now they try and drive him towards the line. It's going to come back for Scotland eventually, although the counter ruck was pretty good by the Kenyans.
See Mark Robertson there in jersey 6. He just couldn't help himself. He'd worked so hard to kick it through, to grab that ball there. Then when he went to ground, the Kenyans drove over the top, and he just went, I worked so hard for this, I'm not going to let it go. Penalty, and that's the end of the half.
So half-time in the semi-final for 13th spot in Sydney. Kenya 7, Scotland 7.
Full house.
If you do see any spare seats here, it's because people are sheltering a little higher up in the stands, away from the heat and the players. There's nowhere to hide out there. It's hot. It's muggy. Toughest conditions so far on the tour. Penalty goes to Scotland.
I called Drac too late. I called Drac over there.
Goes against Andrew Amondi.
Using your hands once you pull the rack. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, reaching across. Penalty's right there. Rasta, the referee, had already said get out of it.
We've got an injury delay here.
Okay, is he going to continue or not? Okay, you're taking him off. Can we get a sub there, please? Can we get a sub on? Run the sub on.
Looking for a substitute.
Good refereeing, being proactive, making sure Scotland have got one ready to go so we don't waste any time. Kevin Lowe on his feet. I don't think he's going to continue though.
Oh, that's a shame.
Okay, time back on.
Clutching at a wrist. And he has been a good performer for them, the 21-year-old, Gammon Lowe. Already without Beattie, Bobby Beattie. He's been ruled out of the tournament through injury. But Scotland, they charge on. Fleming, no way through there. Good recycle though. And Robertson out to White. Crossfield, linking up with Noel Godsmark. Back to White. And Horn. Floats one over to Fleming. Fleming cutting back inside, and Jura missed him, but the cover got him.
Tackle on you.
And Bryce to White. Robertson looking good here for Scotland, but no, he just couldn't free the hands to offload. And a turnover from Kenya. Now they can go coast to coast, no doubt about that. Aguera getting on the outside. The diminutive Horn chasing, turning him back in. Oh, and they go without it. And then they knock it on. And it is going to be a scrum. So somehow Kenya butchered it.
Oh, there was almost justice, because the Scottish, with one more pass down in the left-hand corner, the Scots would have scored.
Okay, time off.
And here they come. There was an inevitability about it. There was only Horn, and there were 2 to 3 Kenyans, and that pass there just overcooked. Wouldn't you have loved to have seen that land in the hands of Collins Injera? He was over for all the world, but it was poorly balanced.
7 red.
Yeah, the initial run from Aguera. Look at that, 5 errors from Kenya to Scotland's 1. And Collins Injera, he needs 5 pointers because he's got Dan Norton, the English flyer, breathing down his neck. Collins still leading overall on the all-time try-scoring list, 238 tries. And Norton, 232. Sinatla, 187, rounding out the top 5. But probably see a few more from him today, but then that might be it, because he's heading off to play for the Stormers in Super Rugby. Ciabello Sinatla.
Set.
Still locked up here. Penalty goes to Scotland.
Angle there. Red.
And Horn trying to catch the napping. Ball and all tackle from Injera.
I love Horn's style. He gets into it. He's lost the ball, though.
Yeah, turnover there. Oliech was the man that cleaned up. And now there's Uyu. Right on halfway. And Wali. Wali showing and then going. Pulled down though.
Tackle only.
Injera to his captain, Amonde. Keeping alive on the inside, and now linking up out here with Nelson Oyu. Oyu. Tackle has to be made. They can't bring him in. Oyu beauty. Nelson Oyu gets the try, and Kenya hit the front.
Well, their style was, first it was Bush and Wali. They were roving laterally, just looking for holes. They finally came to Oyu's wing. Have a look. Across field, looking for someone to straighten. They weren't pinning any defenders. 2 got held there. There wasn't much in it, though. Have a look at Oyu. He's hemmed in. Steps off of it, but there's not enough defenders from the Scots doing enough work on the inside. They've had enough. And Oyu try. Here we go again. So going across, defenders aren't being deceived until here. The defenders get lazy. And Oyu, fresh legs coming off the bench in the second term. He's in a different class, Oyu, in terms of pace.
And there's the extra 2 from right in front. So an injection of speed off the bench for Kenya, paying dividends. 14 points to 7, Kenya over Scotland.
What a strange match. Scotland have played most of the rugby, 42 passes. Only 12 to Kenya, but they've had 2 big moments, and they both resulted in points. Oh, there's a tragic attempt at the restart by Scotland.
Anyway, they cleaned it up through Fraser Lyle. And then a good turnover. So Kenya have an opportunity now to really put this one away. And getting on the outside is Daniel Sakuta. He scooters in, Sakuta. And so that should be enough now for Kenya.
All of a sudden, the switch has been flicked and they're on fire. Sakuta in the corner. There was a bit of doubt about the leg over the touchline. No problems, according to the assistant referee. First try this weekend. Pretty convincing by the time he got there. One-on-one foot race. Fraser Lyle was confident early. He should have probably gone a bit earlier.
Well, in this heat, we're seeing some poor reads on defence. Put that down to fatigue.
Yeah, I call it laziness. It probably is fatigue. It's gut-busting or lung-busting.
The Kenyan fans happy with the scoreboard at the moment. Kenya 19, Scotland 7. 13th is the best place they can finish, but 13 is much better than equal 15th.
Yeah, the fans are happy because it's looking very likely that the Kenyans are going to get another game.
Time back on.
So there's another restart by Kenya. 1 minute remaining, and it's play on. So they're ready to put the icing on the cake, and Endura just showing it. Nothing happening there, so he'll go to ground. Gonzo is on there in 4. Umar over the top, and Barker couldn't link up with his winger. So advantage now for Scotland. Good stepping. Lawrence goes to ground. Now it's Hunter, the new boys this week. No real penetration, but it's still there. Horn. Robbins. Now, gap opened up. It was a mile wide. It might be too late, but Farndale is going to score for Kenya.
Yeah, the full-time signal had already gone. He won't get another chance to score a try. They'll just take the conversion, and they'll fall just short.
Not a lot on, but again, it was just a bit of pace.
That's just 4 seconds earlier. What it would have meant was he scores, they convert, they then get the kick-off and another chance. They were probably 2 to 3 seconds too late with crossing the paint. Fair old effort to finish the game. That's in memory of Sydney. It's a beauty for Farndale.
And there is the extra 2 from right in front, but too late. And so it is full time. And Kenya have won it by 19 to 14 over Scotland. Coming up next.